Hello, my lovely cryptids, and welcome to another episode of Stories with Siren. I'm your host, Siren, and today we've got a special treat. Over the last month, I've had the opportunity to speak with several different artists, several different writers, who've had interesting stories that they thought I might be interested in. And I can definitely tell you, I've read their work, and I'm definitely interested. So, today we have a special story from an author named Mr. Hyde. Now, I'm not going to tell you where you can find him right now by his request. However, do know that if he does decide to share that information, I am more than happy to share it on my channel. Well, enough of that. Let's get into our story today, shall we? Oof. Looks like the holidays took their toll on someone's waistline, huh? Standing in the bathroom in the early days of January, back home for Christmas and New Year's, you can't quite believe the sight you see in the mirror. You, skinny, slender, can eat whatever you want without having to worry about it. You have put on a little weight. All those festive indulgences really caught up with you, huh? Or rather, that new round, wobbly gut that's suddenly hanging off your otherwise lithe-toned frame. Where did that come from? Oh, don't try to lie. You know exactly where it came from. Cakes and cookies, and your mother's famous 5-course Christmas dinner. No wonder you're looking a little Porky. Still, it isn't anything to worry about, right? A few weeks of eating healthy, regular trips to the gym, and you'll be back to normal in no time, right? As you try to reassure yourself, you pull out the old bathroom scale and heave your weightier form onto it, peering over the unfamiliar expanse of your new, curvier, chunkier belly. You see the awful truth. 22 pounds in just 1 month? That can't be right. And yet, looking at the chubster in the mirror, you know it is. As you stare at how much bigger and softer your bloated middle has become, your mom enters the bathroom, apparently unaware it's already occupied. Caught unawares in your pudgy post-Christmas glory, you hastily reach for your bathrobe to cover your newly expanded bod. But before you excuse yourself, you can't help but ask the inevitable question. Do you look different? Different how? Your mom responds brightly. Like maybe I've packed on a few pounds? Oh. Your mother bows her head, suddenly embarrassed. Well, actually, maybe you could stand to lose a little weight. She glances at your bare, flabby stomach, which you try to suck in, with no success. She walks over and, to your surprise, pokes your soft, fleshy, newfound gut with a mischievous finger. Unable to help it, she lets out a giggle. I didn't want to say anything, but you are looking kind of porky. Once you get back to your apartment after the holidays, you really did try to eat healthy and get back into shape. For about a week. After that, the work started piling up and the comfort eating kicked in a big way. Soon, a night didn't go by without the kind of dinner that leaves you full and sleepy, bloated and unbuttoning your pants. Speaking of pants, why are these so tight? You bought new jeans after Christmas. You kind of had to. Did you grab one of your old pairs by mistake? You look down, trying to ignore just how much that belly of yours protrudes, and your blood runs cold. These are the new ones, and they feel like you're about to explode out of them. You haven't stepped on a scale in 2 months. Have you been ignoring the inevitable, Chunky? The same way you've been avoiding the person in the mirror. The one who increasingly doesn't look like a slim person with an incongruous pot belly, but someone who's just let themselves go. Desperately, you try to push these thoughts from your mind. It can't be that bad, right? It's not like you're getting fat, right? With one last heave, groaning from the effort, you button your so-called fat jeans and breathe out with a sigh of relief, oblivious to the swell of your rounded stomach or the dangerous creak of your overtaxed waistband. I don't think these jeans were designed for someone of your appetites or your excess poundage. Do you? You spot a stray sock on the bedroom floor, and without thinking, you bend over to pick it up, only to freeze when you hear a loud, unmistakable, seam-splitting rip. Uh-oh. Looks like someone's gotten a little too big for their britches, huh? Do you realize what just happened? That big, meaty backside you've grown just couldn't be contained by those itty-bitty fat jeans anymore. My. Baby's got back all of a sudden. Where did all that extra weight come from? How much blubber must you have packed on to bust out of those pants, Porker? You glance to where the bathroom's where the scale is sitting, but you're too afraid to face what's happening to you. So you go and try to find some sweatpants that'll contain that big fat butt of yours instead. Then maybe get a snack to take your mind off of things. 2 more months and so many calories later, you can't avoid putting it off any longer. For the past hour, you've been splayed out on the bed, shirtless, your latest pair of bigger, stretchier pants unbuttoned, your belly rising like a mountainous dome before you. You didn't mean to eat so much, but you can't seem to stop yourself these days. Your appetite just gets bigger and bigger, and so does the rest of you. You're turning into a whale, baby. If this is going to stop, if you have any hope of reversing the course you're on, you can't run, or should that be waddle, away from the truth anymore. It's time to face the music. Straining with effort, you pull your bloated body off the bed and stagger over to the bathroom, where the dreaded scale still sits, dusty and untouched. With a silent prayer, you place one bare, pudgy foot on the panels, followed by the other. The digital readout flickers wildly, and you think back to all you've consumed in just the past week. 6 family-sized bags of chips, a whole roast chicken in one night, 3 pies, cherry, apple, and blueberry, with a different tub of ice cream to accompany each of them. 4 supersized pizzas with extra cheese. No wonder you're starting to get kind of supersized yourself. The scale beeps, ready to reveal its final verdict, and you look down fearfully and start to feel the horror of a different sort. You can't see the number of the scale. You can't see your feet at all. All you can see is your huge, gurgling balloon of a belly, obscuring your view of anything else. Can't even see your feet? My goodness, Porky. That's fatness on a whole different level. You've really blimped up. And to think, you had a 6-pack less than a year ago. What on earth have you done to yourself? In shock, you stumble back from the scale and realize that the digital readout remains impossible to ignore. That 22-pound gain after Christmas, the one that started you down this path, has been joined by an extra 53, and they've made themselves known on your thunder thighs, your big, big butt, but most of all, on that massive, wobbling, overfed belly. You are getting fat, honey. And there's nothing you can do about it. 6 months can bring a lot of changes, can't it, babe? What do you think the next 6 months will bring, Porky? Well, isn't that a fun little reminder that sometimes small habits can, well, pile up? That story was Porky by Mr. Hyde. Certainly a very good look at what can happen when you decide to let go around Christmas and the holidays, or as I like to call it, the eating season, and it just turns into a perpetual feast. The things it can do to a body. Well, I will certainly say I definitely prefer my people that way. I would say that's all the time that we have for today. But we may have time for one more little piece of business. If you have a story that you think I might be interested in reading, please feel free to send me a DM, whether through some of my social media pages, Twitter, DeviantArt, even Phoebe. If you're definitely interested, please leave me a note. Or, I always like to see comments. And of course, if anybody is, I don't know, perhaps interested in a little bit of fan art, well, I am coming up on 100 viewers on my YouTube channel, and I would like to do something a little bit special for that. So, I will definitely leave that open to see what people think. And again, thank you for listening. I always enjoy having you come into my lair. But that's all the time that we have for today. So, until next time, ta-ta.